Okay, kids, today we are going to learn about how to tell time in Spanish. So we are going to start with ¿Qué hora es? Which is how we say, what time is it? That's how we ask, what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? And we always answer with son las and whatever time it is. So say we're 5 o'clock, we would say son las 5. Muy fácil. Son las 5. If it were 1 o'clock, we would answer with es la una, because there's only 1 hour. Okay? For every minute past the hour, we add this. We say son las 5:10 would be how we would express that it is 5:10. And we continue that route. We would say son las 5:15 to express that as 5:15. It's kind of like saying it's quarter past. Okay? Still with me? Now, if I wanted to say that it was 5:20, I would simply say son las 5:20. And I would continue on. I would say son las 5:21, 22, 23. And then I would get to son las 5:30. Literally a half. So that is how I would say that it is 5:30, because it is half past. Now, if I were to look at a clock, this being the 12, the 6, the 3, and the 9, okay? Everything on this half of the clock, I'm going to say y. So 5:10, 5:15, 5:30. Everything on this half of the clock, I'm going to say menos. So I'm going to go to the next hour, and I'm going to subtract from there. So let me show you what I mean. So say the time were 5:35. Okay, let's say 5:35. Well, that's 6 minus 25 minutes. It's 25 minutes to 6. If you can think of how some older people usually express that. And we would say son las 6 menos 25. If it were 5:40, well, that's 20 minutes to 6. It's 6 minus 20. So we would say son las 6 menos 20. Now, if it were 5:45, if you remember, 5:15 was quarter past. 5:45 is quarter till. So that's going to be son las 6 menos cuarto. Now, many people today also still say 5:45, so 5:45 literally, and that's perfectly acceptable. So I'm going to teach you both ways. Now, another question we might ask is ¿a qué hora? Asking at what time. So for example, if I asked at what time do you have a certain class, or at what time is your appointment, I would ask at qué hora, a qué hora, sorry, and you would answer with a las, or a la if it were 1 o'clock, a las 5, a las 5:30. So if I said a qué hora empieza la escuela, a qué hora empieza la escuela, so what time does school start, you would answer me with a las 7:15. cuarto, 7:15. Okay? Now let's take a look at some clocks. Hopefully you guys know how to tell time on an analog clock. Okay, so this is a great little worksheet just to give you guys a little practice. It's a great way to help out. So here we have son. So let's take a look here. We're going to make this one son las 5. This one is 8 o'clock, so son las 8. What do we think about this one? That's right, son las 6. Do them with me now. Continue on here, we can say son las 4. We would say son las 4 because the little hand is on the 4, big hand is on the 12. Son las 4. Son las 5 again. Y son las 7. Now on this clock here, we can also say son las 12 because it is 12 o'clock. And if you think of other names for 12 o'clock, you could say es el mediodía. Okay, es el mediodía, or es la medianoche, so midday or midnight, literally noon or midnight. That's a good way to think of that. Okay, now moving along, let's try out some of these questions. So in your notes, why don't you take a look and try out some of these times yourself? So take a second and give that a shot. So the first one we have here, is 2:55. So like I said, that's on the other side. So we're going to say menos. We're going to go up to the 3. We're going to say menos, and we're going to make that son las 3. It's 5 minutes to 3. 3 menos 5. Okay. Here we have 3:30. And if you remember, that's half past 3. So we're going to say son, those are ditto marks, son las 3:30. Here we have another one that's past the half hour, so we're going to say, we could either say 4:40. Some people will say that, that's acceptable, but we're going to say son las 5 menos 20. And I'll do one more with you. Let's go down to, let's do this one. So here we have son las 6:15. Okay, some people will say 6:15, but it's quarter past. We'll say son las 6:15. And actually, I'll do one more with you. Let's also do this one right here. Okay, like I said, there's only 1 hour, so we're not going to say son las, we're going to say es la, because it's singular. So we're going to say es la una. 1 o'clock is the only one you do that for. Es la 1:05. Okay? Sound good? Now, moving on to a couple of the a qué horas. Let's take a look. So everyone should be a las or a la. So we're going to try this one. We'll say a qué hora. So if I said to you, a qué hora es la práctica, I'd say something along the lines of a las 3:22. So give the rest of those a shot. You can try those out in your notes. And we'll practice some more in class and have your notes ready. And I'll give you a little quiz tomorrow to see if you've been paying attention. All right, good luck.